Oh man. Hey, welcome. My name is Leonie. Thank you for hanging out with me in another reading vlog. And today I have a very exciting day. Today I'm going to a book swap, which is something that's organized by my student organization, which it's basically just a bunch of people take a pile of books that they no longer want or that they are willing to give away to other people, and then we just give each other books that we're not interested in anymore ourselves. So it's a really fun way to get secondhand books, and it's all for free, so that's great. So recently I went through my bookshelves and looked at all the books that I wanted to get rid of. Here is the pile of books that I am going to take with me to the book swap. It's 10 books, I think, which is pretty reasonable. Again, details on why I'm getting rid of these books will be in the unhaul video, but don't worry if you see a book in here that you really like. Just know that I actually enjoyed some of the books in here. I just thought that I would make someone else happier with them, which is why I'm bringing them with me to find a new owner. I'm talking about them as if they're pets, but like I'm putting these up for adoption. I'm excited to see how many books I'm gonna get rid of. Actually, this one, A Wrinkle in Time, I got at a book swap 2 years ago, and now I'm bringing it back to the book swap, so that would be really full circle if I got rid of this right now. The only ones, these are 2 literary fiction books, which tends to be a little less popular with the, I think, with the group that I'm going with, so not sure if I can get rid of these. The other ones are all pretty, yeah, I think pretty well known, like fantasy and thriller books, some sci-fi. Yeah, and of course I'm excited to see how many books I take back with me. I tend to be very picky with the books that I take home with me. Like I really only want to bring back books that I'm actually like super excited about, and I don't just want to bring back books just because they're free. So I hope that there is something interesting among the books that the other people bring with them. I'm very excited. It's like a little this is why I'm so excited about it, you know, like it feels like it's not like you're walking into a bookstore and you know that pretty much all the books that you are looking for are going to be there. It's like a little gamble, like which free books are going to be accessible to me this afternoon. Who knows? How exciting. And then I will take you with me on a little bike ride to the park with the books. Ready? Hey, I actually got rid of all of my books. We ended up with like this big pile of books that nobody really wanted, so we just ended up distributing them over like some little libraries. I've always wanted to bring something to a little library. That's like my dream, like later in life when I somehow hopefully have a house. I know that's a little bit a dream too big for this economy, but I would love to have then my own little library, you know, along the street. I would love that. Of course, the question is, did I take any books with me? I have 1 book. I didn't really see any books that I knew that I wanted to read or that I knew that I was very interested in, but someone had this one and it really piqued my interest. It's The Universe by Stephen King, which is well, one of his popular books from Stephen King about the universe. And I really like books like this, these kind of like large sciencey books, especially about the universe, because when I was younger, look how pretty. When I was younger, I loved learning about galaxies and the universe and stars like that. I was super interested in that. And I still find it super interesting. So when I saw this, I was like, yeah. So when the person who had this book presented it, she was like, yeah, I don't really expect anyone to want this, but you know, I just thought I'd shoot my shot. And I was like, I want that. I think that's cool. So that's really nice, because she didn't expect she would be able to get rid of it, but luckily I was there interested in books with weird little green marshmallows. It's a lot about physics. Like, I'm probably not gonna sit down, you know, chill and sit down and read this book back to back, but it's fun to have these kind of books, like a coffee table book that I will just look into once in a while when I'm interested. I thought I need to water my plants because they're also dying in this heat, and I'm not usually very good at watering my plants on time, which is why the only plants that are still alive in my house are the ones that have apparently adapted to the trauma and can survive anything. I'm actually giving them a treat right now by watering them within a week of the last watering time. But in the meantime, I thought I would talk to you about The Deal, which is the book that I'm currently reading, which is an interesting book because it was recommended to me by a friend, and when I said in a video that I was gonna read it, I got so many comments. I've even gotten DMs of you guys telling me to not read it because of how bad it is, and I have the, I think, embarrassing or concerning news that I'm actually kind of and really enjoying this book. I'll fill the water first. There's this girl, and she's kind of more like smart and cool. She doesn't go to parties. She's at college, you know, you're supposed to identify with her as the reader. And she really doesn't like this dude, Garrett, who's like an ice hockey player. He's a jock, he's a playboy, you know, he sleeps around with everyone. Everyone wants to be very popular. And he asked her if she can help him with his homework because he's failing his classes. And then in return, he will pretend to be her boyfriend as to make another popular guy jealous that our main girl wants to date. So this book, it sucks. I just want to make it clear, it's horrible. But in a good way. It's just very dude bro, all these frat boys that are very misogynistic. They love sexist shit, and you know, Garrett doesn't mean them, they're just jokes. And then our main girl, whose name I forgot, which is why I'm calling her main girl, she's always like, don't do that. She's always calling him out on it, but it's very typical, like, kind of douchebaggery dude bro dudes. And then our main character who's like, I'm not like other girls, as in she literally utters the words, well, I'm not like most women. I think she did that twice, where Garrett is like, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing that, that's so amazing, no other girl would do that for me. And then our main girl is like, well, I'm not like most women. So it's literally doing the I'm not like other girls thing. But the reason I'm not hating it, it feels in a weird way realistic. These people exist, you know? I feel like I'm genuinely reading a romance story between one of those annoying frat dudes and one of those girls that thinks that she's better than other women and better than people who go to parties. And their romance story is very entertaining to read. Like, I don't think these people are perfect people. I kind of judge them a little bit as I read it. Great. The reason that it's so entertaining is because it's genuinely well written, as in the chemistry between these two characters is so good. It's so good. Like, I haven't felt this way while reading a romance in quite a while. And I think it's also that it just does my favorite romance tropes. Enemies to friends to lovers, where it's two people who don't like each other and make it very clear that they just don't like the other person, become friends, find out that they actually get along quite well, and then they have a very open and honest, like, friendship because they've been so honest about what they don't like each other. You know what I mean? They're very much like, oh, just two people that are completely willing to call each other out and point out each other's flaws, but they also just get along very well. And I love those kinds of dynamics. And that's what's going on here, and that's why I'm enjoying it so much. Hello, Vibey. Let's have a little chat moment. Okay, I just want to have a little update on all the audiobooks I've been listening to. I finished The Deal. Man, I just really enjoyed that book. It's not good. I know it's not. It's pretty misogynistic at times, very much not like other girl vibes. But if you can just turn your brain off for a second and think, doesn't matter, it's a fantastic book. And there are so many things that it does so well, like there's really great consent, the main character is dealing with sexual trauma and it's handled very well. I think the characters communicate very well. It's just really wonderful and not frustrating to read, and I love it when there's a romance that's not frustrating to read. By the way, if you hear zooming in the background, that is because I'm currently exporting my unhaul video, so my laptop's making the rounds, yeah. And then the next audiobook that I started listening to, I highly recommend. You've probably heard everyone talking about it, but it's I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. In case you missed it, Jeanette McCurdy, she was like a child actor. She played Sam in iCarly, which I grew up with. Like, I grew up with iCarly, I love that show. But she wrote a memoir, not just about her time as a child star and at Nickelodeon and just the weird things that were happening there, and the way the kids were treated by the director. Just a lot of lines were overstepped, but it's not just about that. It's also just in general, this woman's life has been terrible. Every single thing that you can imagine to go wrong in someone's life goes wrong in her life. It's insane to read. Like, it's actually insane to read. Mainly it deals with the abuse that she faced from her mom, who also died of cancer, and her battling with her eating disorder and alcoholism, and then also the many boyfriends that she's had that didn't really treat her well, or thought that they were the reincarnation of Jesus. The audiobook is narrated by the author herself, so by Jeanette McCurdy, and it's super well done. Like, she narrates it so well. I mean, it makes sense, she's literally an actor. So I highly recommend listening to the audiobook. I'm not usually a memoir reader, but this one 100% lives up to the hype, and I think especially if you grew up with iCarly, so you know Jeanette McCurdy as Sam, and you grew up with Nickelodeon, you have to read this. It's amazing. I'm gonna take a shower now and just chill and use my second screen, which, oh my gosh, I got a second screen. Amazing. I love it. I never want anything else. I'm gonna use it to continue watching Jujutsu Kaisen, which is the first anime that I've seen in years, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I am loving having the dual screen, by the way. I recently bought a second monitor and it's amazing. It's so nice. I should have done this earlier. Like, I can play my Switch on there and I can watch movies on a larger screen, and highly recommend. to read in autumn. I don't think I've mentioned. Have I mentioned? I haven't mentioned this because I feel very all over the place. But I graduated. Like, I passed my thesis and it still hasn't sunk in. It still hasn't sunk in. But now I'm excited for the more fall book. So let's just take a look at my TBR. These are the books on my shelves that I have not read yet. And there's one plan that I already have. Finally. So, The Secret History is a book that you guys have been telling me to read for forever now. I can't believe I talk about dark academia books so often and I still haven't read the original. Probably because I'm a little scared that it's gonna disappoint or something. Like, it's just a little intimidating, right? But my plan is I really want to read this one and make a reading vlog around it, and then also read Babel or Babel by R. Huang, the author of The Poppy War, who recently came out with a dark academia novel. But I knew that before I read that book I wanted to read the original dark academia book, The Secret History, so that's probably gonna be its own separate reading vlog where I read The Secret History and Babel. I really don't know what I'm gonna be in the mood for after that, because I think they're both pretty big books. This looks small, but it's 600 pages. I'm not sure what I'm gonna be in the mood for after that, but I really want to read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Every single year I say that I want to read this and then I don't read it. I'll probably just rewatch the movies because I really like the movies. But maybe I'll get to reading it. I really don't know if I'll get to it. I know there was a movie coming out about, I think about Emily Bronte, the author of Wuthering Heights. I'm very excited about watching that movie, so maybe I'll read Wuthering Heights. Look at me, making promises about reading classics that I probably won't get to. The priority is definitely for The Secret History, and then I also want to have an audiobook because I just want to have an audiobook ready. I'm spending a lot of time on this couch and then I put my big screen over there. I just cuddle up in here and I play my little Nintendo Switch. And I've been playing a lot of open world games like Pokemon Legend Arceus, and then I find it fun to listen into an audiobook. These are the ones that I currently have saved. Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This is a memoir, and it's supposedly really good and especially very interesting if you're like a young woman, like in her 20s. It's supposedly very relatable, and I'm kind of in a mood for another memoir, but also memoir feels summery to me. Like I want something dark, something autumnal. You know, I'm a basic girl and I want to feel autumnal. Other options are this one I'm pretty excited about. Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson, who is the author of Sorcery of Thorns, which is super popular. I personally thought it was just so, but I want to give her another chance because they're very cozy, easy to read fantasy novels, and this one deals with spirits and the dead, and the main character is practically a warrior nun, and I love that trope and I want to see more of that, so I want to read this just for the concept. And then I also have The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, which is the third book in the Folk of Air series, and I love The Cruel Prince, but I still haven't finished the series, so I might listen to that as well. I think currently my preference is Vespertine. I think I'm gonna start listening to that and then see if I like it. If I'm super chill with audiobooks and not finishing them, if I'm not feeling it, I just stop listening. Whereas with a physical book, I really want to finish it, even if I'm not really enjoying it. Probably because I paid money to have a physical copy. But with audiobooks, I'm like, if I'm not feeling it, I just move on to another one. I don't care, because people always ask me what audiobook app I use. I use Storytel, which is, I think, mostly known in Europe, and then also a few Asian countries, but it's like Netflix. It's just subscription based, so you don't work with credits, so you can just listen to an unlimited amount of audiobooks every month, and it's really great. And then if I'm not feeling it, I just move on to another one. But I think I'm gonna try out Vespertine first and see if I like it. I've been waiting for this moment. I've been holding this thing off until I felt like it was the right moment, when I felt like it was really getting autumn. And now that I've been to the forest, I've seen the fallen leaves, it keeps raining. Yet again today it's been raining and storming and lightning and all that stuff, so I think it's finally time. I bought this. You probably cannot see this in this light. I bought one of those candles with wood wicks in them. Usually these kind of wood wick candles are really expensive because they're supposed to crackle. This one was suspiciously cheap. I think this was like €5, so it's probably not very good. But I've never even lit a wick like this, so I thought I would, you know, put it on camera. Okay. Oh, it went out. Oh, that looks so cool. It's crackling. While I was on my little walk through the forest, I started listening to Vespertine, and I am enjoying it so far. It's definitely doing what I'm used to from Margaret Rogerson, and that is that the main character is just kind of dull. But just like in Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, I think the concept is really cool because it is about this nun coven, and the main character is like kind of like a cleric priestess kind of woman, and she is tasked with taking care of this ancient, very powerful relic. And she has to take care of it, and she's like, what the hell am I gonna do? I don't know what to do with this. I mean, it took a while for the story to get started. I mean, I'm an hour into the audiobook, and only now did she get the relic. That's where I am in the story, but so far it's not mind-blowing or anything, but it's really fun to listen to as you're doing something else. It's got the spooky vibes with the spirits. You know, they have to take care of the dead. So I'm definitely feeling the autumn vibes. And I'm so happy about that. Hey, guess what? I'm wearing my first... It's not fully a jumper. It's not fully a sweater, but it's not a t-shirt. It's not a t-shirt or a little blouse. So yeah, I guess you could say autumn has started. For me, at least. If you liked the vlog and you want to see more, definitely subscribe. For now, we're just gonna have a little bit of chat at the end of the video. So I mentioned this earlier in the video for like a brief moment, but I felt like I should spend a little bit more time on it, and that is that I graduated. If you've been following me for the past few months, you've seen my journey of finishing my master's thesis. I've been doing my internship remotely from home, a neurobiology internship at a Harvard research group, and I had to write a thesis on that, and I finished that a few weeks ago. You could see me doing that in multiple vlogs, and it took some time for me to get my grade and get my study plan approved, but just in the nick of time, just in time for me to graduate it, I got everything back. Everything was good. And that means I'm technically now graduated. Doesn't feel very real. Haven't really had a ceremony yet. Like the graduation ceremony isn't until late November. So it really is true what they say, that college just ends one random afternoon and you don't really realize that it's happening. It's just this slow fizzling out and then suddenly you're done. So yeah, I'm a Master's of Science now, which is weird. A Master's of Science in Neurobiology. That sounds way cooler than I feel right now. The obvious next question is, what's next? I've already alluded to this a little bit in previous videos, but I'm taking, I guess you could say, a gap year because I don't know what I want to do with my life. So I'm taking a year to focus on YouTube because for the past year, every time I make a video, I feel like I don't have enough time to really make it into something that I want it to be. So I'm really excited to finally have more time so I can actually put in the effort into my videos that I have been wanting to put into them for such a long time. Besides YouTube, I also have other things planned for myself, some very exciting things that hopefully I can share in vlogs as well. Speaking of vlogs, if you're watching this, yay, thanks, because it's been a very long time since I've done a normal, regular reading vlog where I just share my life and what I read without a theme to it. I used to make these all the time when I just restarted my channel like 2 years ago in 2020. I was making so many reading vlogs and they really helped my channel grow and a lot of you guys really loved them. But then I kind of stopped making them, and to be honest, that is just because I noticed that people lost interest in them and that people were just a lot more interested in watching vlogs with a specific theme to them, you know, certain books that I was going to be reading or a certain challenge. But I was watching my old reading vlogs that I made in 2020 and they just made me very happy to look at. And I really love making reading vlogs, even though they take the most effort out of every single video that I ever make. I just love making them and I love editing them so much. So I was just thinking about bringing back the regular reading vlogs, especially think during autumn, you know, the cozy vibes of a cozy reading vlog. Immaculate vibes. And I want to make those. So this is a little experiment. So if you like this video, let me know, definitely let me know. Obviously, if no one's really interested in these reading vlogs, they might not happen. But if you like them, I will make more. Don't worry, I will also be making the themed reading vlogs. But if you're watching this right now, you're probably interested in it, otherwise you wouldn't be watching. So I'm definitely speaking to an echo chamber right now. I think that is the end of this vlog. I hope you all got a little thumbnail with me. Again, if you want to see more like this and you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm gonna say goodbye to you now because I will see you next week again. Goodbye.